So for today, we're going to be covering transformations. It says here, a transformation is a change in the position or size of the figure. The original figure is a pre-image. So pre means before you do the translation. So before, which is going to be our original image. And then we get this new figure. And on our new figure, it is created by the transformation. And this is called the image. So this is after the translation. Okay, so a translation is a transformation in which the size of the pre-image stays the same, but its horizontal and or vertical position is changed. Every point of the pre-image is moved the same distance and the same direction. So some keywords here, the size stays the same. Okay, we're moving either horizontally or vertically, and it's always moved in the same distance and the same direction. Okay, so a translation can be described by what we call a vector. So a vector is in the form of x and y. The vector identifies how many units to the left or to the right and how many units up or down that the pre-image is translated in order to create the image. So here it says, draw the image of triangle ABC under translation to -5. So this is our vector. Now, the vector 2, -5 indicates that triangle ABC must be translated 2 units. Okay, so we look at the x value. Our x value is a horizontal translation, so you're either going to go left or you're going to go right, and since it's positive, we are going to the right. And 5 units down. So because it is a -5, that means we are going to move down 5 units. Okay, since it's our y value, it's either moving up or down. So we're going to go ahead and take our triangle. This is our pre-image. I'm going to go ahead and write the points. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So A is -4 and up 2. That's the coordinate of A. And so after the translation, we're going to go ahead and move it 2 units to the right. So 1, 2, and 5 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this would be the point for A. Now when we make the new, we have to put a little apostrophe at the top that stands for A prime. Okay, and so the new coordinate for A is going to be -2, -3. Okay, now we're going to move point B. So I'm going to count where point B is real quick. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So -7. And then it's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So -7, 7 is the original for B. So now we are going to do the translation of 2, -5. So we're going to go 2 to the right and down 5. 1, 2, 3, and 5. And this would be the new point for B. So we call the new one B prime. The little apostrophe means that that's the new. All right, so that coordinate is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So -5, +2. Okay. Now next we have point C. So I'm going to count the units for C. It's 1, 2, 3. So -3, and it is up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So +9. So now we're going to go ahead and take point C and then put it under the translation of vector 2, -5. So we are going to move 2 to the right and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is a new point for C prime. So this is what our new image looks like. So this is an image of the triangle. Let's see. That new point is going to be -1, 4. Okay, so notice that the coordinates of triangle ABC are the result of adding the translation vector to each coordinate of triangle ABC. So our vector is 2, -5. So what they're saying is -4 plus 2 gives us -2. -7 plus 2 gives us -5. -3 plus 2 gives us -1. Okay, the same goes for the y values. If I take 2 and add -5, that gives me -3, which is what I got for my image. 7 plus -5 gives us +2. And then last, 9 plus negative 5 gives us positive 4. So you can also get the vectors or the new points by adding the vector. Okay? So you can use a graph or you could just use a point. Either way, you should be okay. So on this one, it says use a vector to describe each translation. So this one is saying, all right, we're going to go from A to B. Okay, what is a vector? So first, we're going to have to give the x value, which is the horizontal translation. So we're going to pick a point. I'm going to pick the bottom right corner. So if I pick the bottom right corner of A, then I'm going to have to pick the bottom right corner of B. And so our horizontal translation, I'm going to count how many units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So since I moved 10 units to the right, it's going to be 10, comma. And then we're going to count how many units down. So to get from A to B, it's going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it'll be 10, comma, and since we went down, it's going to be negative 5. All right, next they want us to go from B to D. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick a point. I'm going to pick the bottom right corner just to keep it consistent with all the shapes. And so we're going to see how many units do we have to go to the left this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 units to the right, to the left. So it's going to be negative 10. Can't see that negative good. Negative 10, comma. Now we're going to count how many units down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 units down, so it's also going to be negative, and specifically negative 7. All right, the next one, we are going from D to C. So I'm going to pick the same bottom right corner from D to C. So I'm going to see how many units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 12 units to the right, and it's going to be positive 12 because it's to the right. And then we're going to see how many units did we move up. So from D to C, it only moves 1 unit up. So it is also a positive 1. All right, and lastly, from C to A. So I'm going to go from C. I'm going to pick the bottom right corner of C, and we are going to A. So we are going to see how many units to the left first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so it's 12 units to the left. Since we're going to the left, it's going to be negative. And now we're going to count how many units up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 units up. So in the next part, it says draw the image of parallelogram MNPL under translation x plus 4, y minus 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this parallelogram and we're going to move it. Since it says x plus 4, that means we are moving to the right 4. And then minus 3 means that after that, we're going to have to move down 3. So I'm going to go ahead and take all these points. We're going to go to the right 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and down 1, 2, and 3. And this is a new point for n. So remember, we put a little apostrophe there for n prime to show that that is a new image. Okay. Now we're going to translate point P. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. And that is a new one for P prime. Then we have L, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3. And this one is L prime. And then last we have M, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3. All right, so the next one, it says variation on translating a point. So the image point of A after translation left 4 units and down 5 units is a point B, which is negative 10, 2. Determine the coordinates of the pre-image of point A. Okay, so what this is saying is they took point A and they applied a translation on it, okay? The translation is 4 units to the left and down 5 units. And we ended up coming up with our image, which was b negative 10, 2. So they want us to find what are the coordinates of A. So we know that if we take point A and we add our vector, in this case our vector is to the left 4 units would be negative 5 and down 5 units, sorry, to the left 4 units would be not negative 5, negative 4, and then down 5 units would be negative 5. Okay, so this is my vector. And so by adding these two will result in the image, and they tell us that the image is B, point B, which is negative 10, comma 2. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this on the graph and mathematically. So first, mathematically, to find A, all we have to do is figure out, okay, what number can I add to negative 4 to get negative 10? So negative 6 plus negative 4 would give you negative 10. And then the next one, so we need to see what number do we add to negative 5 to get a positive 2. So 7 plus negative 5 would give you a positive 2. So that means that point A is negative 6, 7. Now, all right, so now we're going to go ahead and try this on the graph. Okay, so if you didn't understand it mathematically, we're going to do it on the graph. So we're going to go ahead and plot point B. Point B is negative 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up to, that would be point B. Okay, now point B was translated under vector negative 4, negative 5, but we're going to go backwards. So instead of going to the left, because we're working backwards and we're finding the original image, we're going to have to go to the right. So we're going to go to the right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then because it was shifted down 5 units, then we're going to go in the opposite direction because we're working backwards, and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so this is point A. And so all we have to do now is figure out what the coordinate of A is. So if we counted, this would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be negative 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be positive 7. So that's a coordinate for point A. So that's the way you guys can do it on the graph. So let's go ahead and try it on the next one. So let me just erase this so that I have more space again for the next problem. And so now I'm going to do the graph first, and then I'll do the math after. So it says the image point of A after translation right is 5 units and up 5 units. Okay, so our vector is going to be 5, comma 5. This is our vector. Okay, because we moved to the right 5 units and we moved up. Okay, now point B after the translation, it tells us here is 13, 9. So B is 13, comma 9. Alrighty. And then we are trying to figure out what point A is. So I'm going to go ahead and plot point B. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then it goes up 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is B. Okay. So remember, because we're working backwards and we're trying to find the original, we are going to have to go backwards in reverse. So instead of going to the right 5 units, we're going to have to go to the left 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then instead of going up 5 units, we're going to have to go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this is point A. Okay. Then we just find the coordinate of that point. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, comma 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 8, comma 4. So if we want to double check mathematically, remember 8 plus 5 should give us 13, which is good. And 4 plus 5 should give us 9. And we're good to go. So A is 8, 4. All right, the next one, it says the image of point 2, negative 9 under translation 4, negative 14. Find the coordinates of the image of the 0.56 under the same translation. So we do not know what the translation is. We need to figure it out. But they do tell us that the original point is 2, negative 9. So let's go ahead and graph that real quick. So 2, negative 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and so this is the original point. And then it says the new point is 4, negative 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 would be right here. So they do not put letters for it, so I'm going to go ahead and put my own letter just so that we don't get super confused. That will help us out. I'll call that original is A, and the new one is A prime. So we're going to go ahead and check to see what is a vector. How do we translate? So we translated 1, 2 units to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units down. Okay, so that means that the vector is 4 units to the right, and we said not 4 units to the right, 2 units to the right. And 4, 1, 5 down, so minus 5. So that's a vector. Now it says find the coordinates of the image. So we're looking for the new point of 5, 6 under the same translation. So our translation is 12, negative 5. So we're going to take 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a new point, which is 5, 6. And they want to know if I use the same translation, which is 2 to the right, 1, 2, and 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what would be this new point? So I'm going to call this one B. What would be prime B? Okay, so this is a tricky one just because you have to go ahead and first figure out what the vector is, and then from there, you're going to translate the second point. So here, if we apply that translation, we end up getting 7, 1. That would be our answer. All right, on the next one, I'm going to show you guys how to find it mathematically without the graph. So it says the image of 0.21 under translation is 5, negative 3. So if it's 2, 1, and we add the vector and it becomes 5, negative 3, we're going to go ahead and figure out what the vector is. So my vector, we have to add a number to 2 to get 5. So 2 plus what gives us 5? Well, 2 plus 3 gives us 5. All right, then we have to add a number to 1. So 1 plus what gives us negative 3? Well, 1 plus negative 4 would give us negative 3. So that means that this is my vector. Okay, so now they want us to take this new point, which is 6, 6, and they want us to apply the same translation. Okay, so now that we figured out the same translation, we can go ahead and plug it in and figure out what is going to be our new point. So 6 plus 3 gives us 9, and 6 plus negative 4 gives us 2. And that's it. Thank you guys. Bye.